Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And my question of today is, are you still accumulating crypto? If you are or if you are not, let us all know in the comment section down below. If you're buying XRP or if you're buying Bitcoin or Ethereum or Storm or Link or some other coin, let us know in the comment section down below. I'm interested. All right, and today's articles are pretty damn heavy. So let's start out with a very cool one. JP Morgan Chase publishes positive report on Bitcoin. So damn, guys. It's been a crazy month. Yes, 2 weeks ago or so, Goldman Sachs came out against Bitcoin. The two executives of Goldman Sachs said in a call to their clients that they currently do not see Bitcoin as an asset class. They cited the asset's high volatility, lack of cash flow, and its inability to properly hedge against inflation risk. However, JP Morgan just came out to say that Bitcoin was able to survive the massive flash of volatility in March and April, which is mostly positive and pretty damn cool if you think about it. So, JP Morgan Chase has outlined in a recent analysis that Bitcoin's 2020 performance demonstrates the asset's growth and maturation. The paper also notes the compelling correlation the primary crypto is exhibiting with global equities. And now on this, guys, if you are enjoying the daily crypto news, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, by the way. I mean, 65% of the people watching are not subscribed, and I think we can, crack that number up a little bit to maybe 59, something like that. So make sure you subscribe and, pressing the like button helps out for the YouTube algorithm and puts a big smile on my face. Having said that, though, what I think is that this is a very true portion, and it's also something that can be admired / hated upon, right? Because when we're talking about a perfect hedge or something that can help out for the rough times when stocks go bad or the US dollar falls or anything like that, if there's a perfect correlation, which we're noticing with global equities, it doesn't quite hit the nail on the head. And then also being so volatile and even having a higher beta than, one, I guess, just having even bigger consequences on Bitcoin than on normal equities, that's pretty bad. And they switched because, of course, we've seen JP Morgan switch all the time. They've actually had a couple of really strange, stances upon Bitcoin at first. Doesn't matter too much, though. They switched, see that it's more mature. However, they're also stating a little bit that it's too volatile. It's still speculation, nothing secure just quite yet. And in the end, I do understand exactly where this is coming from. However, at the end of the day, we don't know just quite yet whether or not Bitcoin will get that inverse correlation going on to stocks when the shit really hits the fan. You guys know what I mean here? Once it really pops up, maybe Bitcoin is going to act completely different to what we expect right now, and that's something I'm prepared for as well. Trump's new top banking supervisor is pro-Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple XRP. This is not the first time we are talking about Trump's connections to crypto in the last month. No, we've been talking about this pretty damn often just because there's a lot of real good links between really specifically XRP and the White House, but also just crypto in general and Trump. I mean, the connection is pretty damn good, and sometimes it kind of looks like he's about to open up to it a little bit more than you might think, right? And maybe he's got something in the plans. However, he doesn't make it look like it. Brian Brooks, the former head of Coinbase's legal department, was appointed head of U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. As Brooks expressed in his first official act, he considers the blockchain technology as a game changer and considers Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP in particular as problem solvers. So that's pretty damn good to see, guys, if you want to hear from me. The crypto scene may have gained a lot of an important ally in the ranks of the U.S. President Donald Trump with the appointment of Brian Brooks. With Brooks, the former head of the legal department of the American crypto exchange Coinbase, has been appointed to the new acting comptroller of the currency, OCC. The The OCC's office is an independent office within the United States Department of the Treasury that services the regulation and auditing of all national banks and saving banks, as well as the federally licensed branches of agencies of foreign banks. This means that, and agencies of foreign banks. This means that Brooks now heads the federal authority responsible for the largest banks in the USA, and as Brooks made clear in an interview with Forbes, he could shake up the US financial world and give the adoption of blockchain an extraordinary boost. In an interview, Brooks promoted the blockchain technology as a potential game changer for the banking industry. And again, when we're talking about banking industry, I'm instantly thinking about XRP just like that. And whenever you're talking about game changers, again, I'm thinking of Ripple in the back of my head. He explained the potential of the blockchain and crypto as follows. Again, this is a quote. Blockchain has potential to connect up in a decentralized network all kinds of data. It has the ability to create large, friction-free, decentralized networks of people, and there is a huge and great promise in blockchain and crypto. Brooks also specifically referred to 3 cryptos as prime examples of the potential of technology. Forbes noted, interestingly, he's looking for decentralized networks in general, and he cited Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP in particular to solve many of the problems hindering more than 1,000 financial institutions under his purview. If you're asking me, I don't really know exactly what Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be fixing here, because for helping out financial institutions, I mean, maybe Ethereum could act as a platform for a couple of these financial institutions that would like to, do something on a platform or maybe move their services over to there. However, for all the transacting, you're not going to be using either of the former, right? So, yeah, that's that. In his regulation proposal of June 2nd, Brooks advocates a revision of the existing regulations on digital assets of banks. In particular, Brooks also expressed concern about the antiquated methods used by the banks to transfer money. And again, this is all relating to Ripple and XRP. We'll see in a second here. It takes 3 days if you're trying to send money from the US to Europe on the SWIFT network, and your money is at risk during that period. And even when the money is transmitted, foreign exchange fees are incurred. But a digital representation of value on both sides of the transaction can eliminate that friction and those costs. For some XRP investors, this may sound very much like Ripple's technology, but there is no confirmation of this just quite yet. Fact is that Brooks, through his roots in the crypto industry, has a deep understanding of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and has already demonstrated it. As Forbes reports, Brooks seems to want to abolish antiquated regulations that, for example, prescribe sending a fax for certain actions and replace them with blockchain. In one of his first publications, Brooks issued an advance notice of public rulemaking, ANPR, in which he asked for the public for comments on possible crypto regulation in the banking sector. So kind of an opinion, like a referendum type of thing, right? He asked the public for comments on possible crypto regulation in the banking sector, or basically just asked for some feedback from the people on what could happen right there. And that's actually a very smart move to make as well. Because what I'm personally seeing here is that I think a lot of regulators know what's best, at least they seem to think so, based upon prior data. However, since we got such a new system going on and everything's really changing in a very great sense, things are changing on like a grade A+, if you guys know what I mean here. It's changing a lot. If Ripple were to come in, I don't think regulators can really estimate the amount of people that would start to use, cross-border transactions, for example, now because that came on, or the amount of people that would now switch over to full decentralized money instead of just the normal money. I don't think people can really estimate that just quite yet. All the data scientists are now cringing in their seat like, I can estimate it. But, I think it's so difficult because these are changes we've never seen before. And I don't know if it's really estimatable in the real sense. And that's why I think asking the people can give you a better overview of what people really might do or what they really might prefer to have. Maybe 95% or maybe 99.9% of the people don't care about these regulations at all, but maybe 65% of them care. I think it's pretty difficult to tell right now because it's just such a drastic change, and not many people know exactly how the behavior would change just quite yet. Because if I were to look at my own family or just some people I could think of right now, how many times did they send money away, right? Or how many times did it have to do with regulations in the crypto space? If I'm thinking about that completely honestly, not that often. Maybe sending money to some closer countries, yeah, maybe sometimes. However, would they really now go out of their way and send it more often now that the costs have been lowered, or now that regulation might be different in crypto? Would they start to use it? I don't think so. I don't think they would care at all. However, if I'm thinking about a couple of my friends, then yes, they would care extraordinarily much. And kind of weighing it from that perspective, you might get some really, really different ideas by asking the people in comparison to what you think as a regulator or as a guy just behind his computer. Because if you were to ask me, regulation is very, very important. But had you asked for example, a family member, a relative of mine, he probably would say it doesn't matter for shit and nobody's going to care, right? And same goes for those regulators. They might think it's very important. However, he might not be able to fully estimate what the people think about it because you're not just, maybe not connected to them too much. Even though, of course, these guys always do this type of stuff, I personally think, that they ask the people because they, of course, got to sketch an idea of what they're working with. But still, for crypto, I didn't really know they were doing anything like that just quite yet. And I think that's good. And to quickly finish it off, the notice stated that his authority was interested in activities related to cryptocurrency or crypto assets that financial services companies or bank customers are engaged in, and what the barriers or obstacles to further adoption of crypto-related activities are in the banking industry. All right, Ripple need for digital payments is growing. XRP will benefit. Just this part. Ripple XRP has revealed that it will put their new focus on the need for remittances and payments by SMEs, and therefore expects on-demand liquidities transactions volume to rise. Now, that was something I'm kind of debating here about what the correct answer to this is, because my personal perception of it all was Ripple actually expects their transaction volume in terms of dollars to lower significantly. However, transactions in hashtags or in number of transactions to increase. At least that's what I kind of fetch from it, because they want to kind of steer away from these bigger parties that have, a lot of transactions, but smaller ones, but basically from one party to another or from one party to multiple, instead of from a lot of parties to a lot of parties. And they kind of want to stray away from the one big one and go to a lot of smaller ones, right? But that would also mean a decrease in the real, or at least a deterioration in growth of the volume of ODL. That's what I personally think about the situation. However, this might be misinformation or a different perception, but I just wanted to let you guys know that there might be some differing opinions on that. And Ripple will open new corridors this year and anticipates unprecedented support for RippleNet. So again, they said 2 to 3 customers RippleNet a week, and thus we can expect at the end of this year, there's going to be 1,000 plus partners for RippleNet. At least it's kind of what I'm guessing. No, alas, no, that's a lie, guys. But maybe we're close to 500. It could definitely be so. If you think about it, 2-3 partners a week, possibly 100, 150. We had like 300-ish before, maybe 320. Maybe with some luck, we're close to 500 at the end of the year. Maybe right now we're close to, maybe already 400. Could definitely be so. Who knows? Ripple gets ridiculed after XRP to BTC breaks below key level. It's Peter Brandt, so already. Looks like Ripple Labs has blown the wad allocated to support XRP to Bitcoin at this price, 0.0002060 to 0.0002075 level. That's kind of strange. This has 4 zeros. This has 3 zeros. I guess he just messed up here. If Iceline cannot be reclaimed, look for new support at 0.000194 on the way to 0.0000145. Hey, I'm just a boomer who hates XRP. Well, that's a pretty crucial mistake to make right there. Or am I making anything? Am I doing something wrong? I think he's wrong, right? With the misspelling here. It's pretty damn stupid if you ask me. But yeah, he's always like that. He's always bearish on XRP, so it's nothing new to come out of his mouth. Ethereum price prediction to hit $7,500 by Chris Berniska. If Bitcoin reaches $50,000, how likely is this? Well, I just want to say a little something on that. If Bitcoin hits 50K, we'll see such a huge alt run that is off the question. Ethereum can easily hit 7.5K if Bitcoin can hit 50K, and I don't think we really need to worry about whether or not Ethereum can rise that far, because if Bitcoin can do 50K, yeah, I'm not worried about the future, guys. I'm not worried at all. EOS, Ethereum, and Ripple XRP daily. It's bearish start today. The majors will need to avoid the pivot levels to support another day in the green. If we scroll down a little teeny weeny bit over to Ripple and XRP, it's just a little bit of a price analysis, as you can see. But for any of you that are wondering a little bit about the price, just press the pause button and read into it a little bit. Here we go. And here we go. So that's just the price analysis for today. Some very minor things. However, I don't think it's important, but maybe you guys don't know where to find it. So there you go. Cardano long-term price analysis June 4th. Same kind of goes for this type of stuff. I do not really believe in these long-term price predictions or analysis, and I don't think it's that useful unless you're actively trading, which these videos are not meant to advise you for at all. It's just to give you information on the developments mostly. But about Cardano, I think it's also very, very difficult to predict anything following PA or TA or any other analysis for that matter, because there's a couple of really big rumors / news pieces that could affect it all. So of course we got the mainnet launch, we got the mainnet like introduction phase, we got the transitioning phase, all of that going on. And since we don't know exactly how heavily the Cardano marketing team has been deployed just quite yet, we don't know if once the project is fully operating the new Shelly phase, if they'll just get another big boom, or if it's just kind of done already since they deployed the marketing team once they got their latest net out or their latest announcement out. Can't tell you guys because I don't know, and it's just why I don't believe price analysis is important for Cardano right now. VeChain price analysis. After gaining 50% in 2 weeks, VET eyes 0.0075 for support. VET did really freaking good in the last couple of days, man. I was so surprised because one of you guys, I forgot your name exactly on Twitter. Doesn't matter. If you're watching, hey, you know I'm talking about you. He just sent me a message. Hey, man, I bought some VeChain. And then the next day, VeChain price shot up. So that was actually really interesting to see as well. But when I'm looking through VeChain here, I don't necessarily notice anything really crazy in terms of news, but that's something that's been going on for VeChain for a very long while. They've got themselves such a huge amount of partnerships and crucial partnerships, if I may say so, some billion-dollar partnerships going on, that it's kind of difficult to say exactly if any of the new partnerships that they hop on or get will actually influence the price whatsoever. They got themselves billion-dollar companies attached. You know, they got themselves real, maybe even $1 trillion worth of companies out there already. So is a new company that's partnering with them going to matter that much? Are they going to buy and sell the rumor or news? I don't really know. With VeChain, it's really difficult for me to say as well. I think that's a strange coin if you're talking about that. Ethereum options open interest soars 315%. Are institutions bullish? Open interest on Ethereum option contracts surged 315% to 158 million, but are investors using derivatives for bullish or bearish positions? Good question. Ether options were launched over a year ago at Deribit Derivatives Exchange, but they've only recently gained traction. This surge in OI has many retail investors issuing bullish calls for Ether's future price, but it is important that participants take a deeper look behind the numbers. And if you're interested, make sure you check these articles out. The only problem with this is that it's very, very specific to Ethereum in this case here. And if institutions are bullish on Ethereum, which they might be, it doesn't necessarily say anything about the rest of the crypto. As I've explained to you guys earlier, even though all these cryptos are like coupled to each other or connected, they are also to a certain extent kind of decoupled from each other, because all these coins can rise significantly independently. However, the general trend will most likely follow the market or the market leader, which in this case is Bitcoin. It is definitely possible for Ethereum to do an odd plus 20% day when Bitcoin is going plus 1 or even minus 1%. However, it is unlikely that Ethereum will, again, it's not impossible, but unlikely, that Ethereum will do a plus 40% when Bitcoin is down 20%. Those things don't really add up, doesn't normally happen. It has happened before though. But generally, if Bitcoin were to, for example, go up 2% or so, and Ethereum has had some positive news or some guys are really getting bullish on Ethereum, it might be that Ethereum goes up 18% instead of the 2% that Bitcoin has been having. While the rest of the coins are all 2%, Ethereum does 20%. It's possible and it's happened before. And it's something we should also be aware of because it could happen again. No bother or no question about it. It could happen again. And kind of my point there is that even if the interest in Ethereum is up, it could also just mean that Ethereum might see some benefits from it, but not the whole crypto. Even if people are bearish on Ethereum, doesn't necessarily mean much for crypto at all. Because if you're talking about Ethereum, is it useful? Yes. Do they have some new big plans come in? Ethereum 2.0, so yes. Is it kind of useless as well for transacting and store value and such? Yes. So I can see it both ways. If there's interest in it, I can understand. If there's no interest at all in it, I can understand as well. You guys see me right there? So yeah. And last but not least, CoinGap or Gape. Okay, I guess this article got deleted. It read, Cardano Network to roll out test or Shelly test wallet this week. And that was basically it, but the article is gone. Futsi Lusu. I don't know where he went, but all right. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice